Violators, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Africa is poor. That is the narrative we are made to believe, that we are living under the mercy of the West and America. And that was why when the President Donald Trump decided to cut the supply of aid to Africa, people were of the view that we can never survive. And when we kicked out France from Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, the President Emmanuel Macron told us that we are ungrateful and we can never live without them. But the opposite is the narrative. According to reports, France is in total mess. The debt of France is increasing every second. Now their debt is 3.8 trillion and increases by $6,000 per second. Just 3 nations kicking France out of Africa, and France is in bankruptcy. Africa, we are the reason to which these people are where they are. And that is why they are fighting and doing everything possible to make sure that they bring us back into their system called democracy, which is a trap that they are using to cripple Africa. We are never poor the way they made us to believe. And that is why they are putting pressure on AU to make sure they take out Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso leaders so that they can bring back their people to help their economy grow.
Now let's talk about the French. Their economy is in a mess. France is under a mountain of debt, $3.8 trillion of it. And with every passing second, this number increases by about $6,000. Every second, France sinks deeper into debt. So the French Prime Minister is panicking. His name is François Bayrou. He says that the country is in, and I'm quoting, mortal danger. But he claims to have a plan. He wants to limit tax breaks for the wealthy. He wants to slash civil service jobs, and he wants to axe 2 public holidays. None of these plans is final. All of them are controversial. But one of them has unleashed a firestorm in France. And that's the last one, axing 2 public holidays. You see, for the French, their jours fériés, or public holidays, are joie de vivre, the joy of life, especially the ones in May. This month sees a succession of long weekends, thanks to 2 days, Easter Monday and May 8th, which marks the end of World War II. Prime Minister Bayrou wants to cut these 2 holidays, forcing people to work 2 extra days in a year, 2 extra days, to see a gain in productivity to help pull the nation out of its debt hole. And this has triggered howls of protest. People complain that they will have to work extra for no extra pay, and it won't reduce the national debt. According to a recent poll, 3 out of 4 people oppose this move. And this does not come as a surprise. After all, this is France that we are talking about. This is the land of many things: wine, cheese, fashion, pride. But work ethic is not one of the things that France is famous for. In fact, this country is infamous for it. A typical French workday includes long lunches, plus coffee and wine breaks, and once workers clock out, they cannot return to office for 11 hours. They cannot be disturbed by bosses outside working hours. That is the law. Speaking of which, the country has a 35-hour work week. That too is law, 35-hour work week. But the French work only about 31 hours a week. By comparison, the Americans work 36 hours, the Chinese about 45 hours, and the Indians about 46 hours. French workers also get generous paid time off, anywhere between 5 to 10 weeks. So a chill work life is the norm and the law, because the French have willed it. France also has a history of strikes, from the French Revolution of 1789 to the raucous demonstrations in recent years, especially over an increase in the retirement age. People decry the few extra years of work. The world calls it a God-given right to endless downtime. But stereotypes aside, there is more to consider here. For instance, yes, France has a lot of public holidays, but many other European countries like Belgium and Finland have just as many. And yes, the French work about 31 hours a week, but so do the British. And by the way, French productivity is apparently 18% higher than the UK's. Also, what we often see as entitlement does not seem all that excessive to the French, because to them, laziness is productive. The idea goes back centuries. In 1571, a French thinker retired at the age of 38. He spent entire days in his library, and then he invented a new kind of writing, the essay. This story is a fan favorite in the country, the same country where thinker after thinker has emphasized this, the importance of time away from work, where politicians have defended people's right to be lazy in Parliament, where work is seen as a part of life. So to change how the French work, the government will have to change how they live. Because as the French love to preach, if work...
As everybody is fighting for their people, we have our own unions that are fighting against us. Tell us which nation has ever developed under democracy. And even if that word democracy actually exists, go to Uganda. We have a leader who has been leading his people for how many decades now under the same democracy. Let's take China. Are they under democratic rule? Yet China is in Africa building your railways, developing everything. Is it actually democracy that we need? Why are these people forcing their system of governance on us if they don't have any motive behind it? We have seen that France is nothing without Africa. But these are things that our leaders in AU have failed to see. No wonder they are being sponsored, so they have to do what will please their masters and not us. If democracy is all that you can leave for us as inheritance, as leaders, then keep it. Because we know that there is no nation and there is no leader in this world that is under democracy and is a democratic leader. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have opened our eyes. What we need isn't democracy, isn't democratic leaders, is leaders that will actually dictate the right thing. The same nation that was parading itself that we are living under its mercy, just 3 nations, sacking them from Africa, has brought them to this. That should tell us that we are poor because of the system that these people impose on us. And that is the reason to which they are fighting every leader that is trying to move away from that system. Why are they not fighting the people that are changing the constitution to be in power forever? All these things that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have exposed that today, if truly the African Union is truly for the people, would have channeled its energy to team up with Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso to save their continent, is rather doing the opposite, because the African must suffer so that their masters will enjoy. Must we continue in this 21st century living under oppressors' rule if truly we claim we want our freedom? But what we know is Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso AES has come to stay, and we will support it. Like they said, they have to be very careful and know what they are going to do, because the new generation of youth that they have, they are on a time bomb. It is better they know it this way, because what we have started, nothing that they will do that will bring us down. We are doing what they failed to do as leaders. We will fight till we get our freedom. We don't deserve to be in poverty for them to enjoy. We can't have the natural resources here and we will now be living in hardship so that they can enjoy. We deserve it. That's why nature gave it to us. And anybody that will rise up against us will also rise against that person. France said we are living under his mercy. And now the truth is out. Who is now living under the mercy of the other? And all of them, no matter how much they try, they will all sing, Africa must rise. and will do everything in our power to rise up. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Europe and in France.